want to talk today a little bit about Jesus' second coming. The first one we call the Advent, and that's what we celebrate when Jesus took on the nature of a man and became the perfect God-man, 100% God, 100% man, without damage to either aspect. The Bible clearly says he will come again. And it gets a little confusing as to when does he come? When is he here? How, we've talked quite a bit about what it will look like, what things precede his arrival. But let me just summarize it this way. First of all, high altitude overview. There is an end, just like this sunset, there is an end to history. Jesus will actually come again. The earth will actually be consumed with fire and destroyed. And Jesus actually will create a new heaven and a new earth, and thereby eternity will begin. So you might have heard about the rapture. So the Bible talks about him coming for his people, and then you talk about in Revelation 19 him coming to wage war against the great dragon and to finish it off. Again, that's found in Revelation 19. When it comes to the rapture, the word rapture is not in the Bible. The concept is, but the question is there's a tribulation. There's a 7-year tribulation. We'll talk about this more later, but the tribulation begins when the Antichrist signs a peace treaty with Israel. Keep an eye on the newspapers. And when all the earth is prosperous and peaceful and everybody's lovey-dovey and all that kind of stuff. 3.5 years into it, the covenant is broken, and then Revelation chapter 6 through chapter 21 happened during the second period of the tribulation, that second 3.5 years. So here's the question. When does Jesus actually come for his people? When does he take them away? When does he, quote, snatch them up in the air? Okay? So the prevailing view right now is a pre-trib, meaning Jesus, before the tribulation happens, all the believers are caught up to meet Jesus in the air, and they live happily ever after. That is a great view. That way they won't go through torment and suffering and persecution and martyrdom and so on. A second view is mid-trib. Jesus catches them up in the air. Or the last view is the post-trib. That Jesus comes for his people after the tribulation. Let me just say that historically, pre-trib was made popular in the early, kind of the earlier parts of the 20th century. And the reason why is because God wouldn't allow his people, his followers, his ecclesia, his church to go through suffering, would it? Would he? He wouldn't allow them to be martyred and so forth. God is a loving God. Of course he wouldn't. But just like this sun sets, and there is a time where history occurs where things will be at the end, for the first 1,900 years after Christ, the church has always believed that the church will actually go through the tribulation. And it wasn't until after World War I. You and I don't know much about World War I, but it was, if you knew about it, you'd understand the incredible suffering and the slaughter and the chemical warfare and all that occurred. And so this view that Jesus will come for his church before the tribulation happened. And I believe it was Dallas Theological Seminary that made it popular. I could be wrong on that, but. And so the question is will Jesus come for his people? The answer is yes. When? It's not your business, not my business. When Jesus comes for his people, just be ready. When Revelation 19 occurs, just know that that will be the end. Jesus will come on a white horse, and his people, the saints behind him. The last battle, Armageddon, it's not much of a battle because, I mean, all Jesus has to do is speak and it's done. So then the Bible talks about how Jesus will reign for 1,000 years. That's good to know, but don't let it confuse you. Jesus will come again, and we win. Because if God is for us, who can be against us? And if we go through the tribulation, so be it. If he comes prior to the tribulation, even better. Work as if, and walk with God and do his work as if you're going to be here forever. But have your bags packed, ready to go at any point in time. So that said, Jesus' second coming, he will arrive, and there will be a punctuation mark on history. All right, my friends, God bless. Chat soon.